Hello, welcome to the realm of medicinal healership, spiritual healership. I have a fruit seed in my gum. Here we go. So, healing tea, I'm so grateful for. This particular cup is of a fresh batch of tea that I made this evening in this pot. My ingenuity. It's got rooibos in it, which I really love. It's a special tea to me. It's got rose hips, a little hibiscus, so it's that first run is quite sharp, quite tart, sweet. Got some more water boiling back there. You can probably hear burdock root in this tea. I like oregano, marjoram, basil, a lot of the Italian herbs, really soothing. Eucalyptus has a nice cooling property, relaxing. Peppermint, not in this one, but I do enjoy peppermint. And then there's a couple of soothing roots that I like to use in there. Besides the burdock, I like ashwagandha root and also the marshmallow root, which give it a nice woody, almost creamy oaken flavor to it. I like that. But today, what's today? Today was the last day that I woke up so far, and it was a lethargic morning. I woke up, I had a good night's sleep, but woke up early at about 4. My finger on the nail side here had a little, like where the cuticle tore, like a hangnail. I think there's an infection that got into it. It happened to me once before when I was in Italy, and I didn't have anything to treat it with, and it got the whole finger turned red and swollen, and then it started oozing. So this time I kind of saw those symptoms coming on, and I went down to the corner convenience store that's open 24 hours, and I purchased some Neosporin and Band-Aids. So I don't like to buy those sort of things. I like natural remedies, but when the natural remedies aren't working, time to move on to the big boys, the allopathics, antibiotics. So today, a late start. I went back to bed at about 5 in the morning, 5:30. And I was in this theta state, not quite, more of a low beta, and I was not really, I was tired, but I also was full of energy and vigor, so I laid on the couch and listened just to soothing, calming theta sounds, like mindfulness music, I guess you could call it, but it's more just like tones. 432 hertz, or 528. And I really thought about my pursuits and how vigorous I've been pushing myself to heal, to the point where it's almost getting me sick again, and I let go. I laid there tired with a sore back, and just let myself feel the pulse of my heart beating into the pain and to the tiredness. And just, when you're laying in a bed or a couch and you just can't seem to get comfortable no matter what position you're in, you're tossing and turning. It feels good right when you first make that shift to a different position, but then almost immediately afterwards it goes away and you're uncomfortable and ill at rest again. That's kind of how I felt. And so I just surrendered. I did have the thought racing a bit that you've got to get up and do your stretches, you've got to do this and you've got to do that. And I thought, wow, it's been a real hectic, emotionally and spiritually whirlwind of a last few days. I've been thinking and planning of my journey, preparing for Colombia. I went to Ecuador last year. In Colombia, going down there and being quite hesitant and feeling not ready. But the beautiful thing I realized about big journeys is that you're never completely ready, and the adventure is all in the journey rather than the destination. So I have to let go of that and catch myself each time I get a little anxiety running amok. And thinking about how everything is going to work itself out just perfectly, and the things that I'm afraid might go wrong. And then I think to myself, my wise self comes into the spotlight and says, why are you living in fear? The purpose of your highest self is to live in a state of love, openness, and what is the worst thing that could ever possibly happen? And this is not the suggestion that we should all operate from a worst case scenario perspective, because I certainly don't advocate for that. But I thought about that, like, what is my greatest fear? And my greatest fear, when I boiled it all down, was, like getting lost, not being able to communicate, going hungry, being sick, getting mugged, having things not go smooth. And I thought, I'm a human being on this planet, and this planet is for all of us. And there's so many great people on this planet that have the same hopes, dreams, and desires that I have at a primal level. And that's for joy, and that's for connection, that's for understanding and empathy, and just new and invigorating experiences. So I think about that, and I let go of my fears, my fear of my fear of novelty, and I'm open more to possibility and mystery, and the mastery of the mystery, which is surrendering. My friend Pablo, on his great video blog site, he talks about this, the difference between surrendering and giving up, because it's certainly not the same thing. Surrendering yourself to possibilities and to open-heartedness, and just enjoying the ride, enjoying the experience, not a defeatedness, which certainly is not when you're surrendering in this fashion. So today, if it was to be all sussed out as and equated to our society's ideals of success was not a very productive day. But rest, like surrender, is essential and healing. And that is exactly what I did today. I spoke at length with a person that I've been connected to recently through an Eckhart Tolle forum online about the power of now and this beautiful earth that we are all a part of. And her name is Barbara, and she is from Chile, which is a place that's in a lot of political unrest right now, but also a very relatively affluent nation of South America. And just talking with her about her struggles in life and her accomplishments, I see a lot of myself within her experience. And I feel that with a genuine connection, you can find both a future self and an experienced past self. Perhaps this can make more sense by putting it this way. In someone else, you see, wow, you look at what you've accomplished. You've obtained these levels of education or income, for example, or just experiences that you've accomplished, which I find those being most valuable, because what's life without great experiences? And that's a bounty of future mindset, looking ahead. And then there's the past experience of, I see myself in the past in that person, because they're at a crossroads that is in a way parallel to where I felt I was in retrospect. So it was a nice connection. I'm also opening my heart as much as possible, considering a lot of other stressors that I have put upon myself, which, let's face it, life has stress, because that's the nature of the game when you're in this society. And I'm working really hard to not play by these rules of rigidity and forced doings, I guess, for lack of better terms. So I'm moving to a new apartment, and I've got the keys, and I've got to get everything set up, and I have to go to work. See, this is the language of that it's not conducive with nonviolent communication. It is, I have to. I don't have to do anything. Really, I choose to, I elect to, and I want to. And I just caught myself right there using that language. So this journey is a journey of growth. It's a journey of exploration within myself, of knowing that I am limitless, and that the potentials in the field are limitless and infinite. So to kind of put a bow on this package of my point, I would say that doing nothing is doing so much. Saying nothing is saying so much. And being nothing is essentially being everything. So find those key points, those beauty marks in your life, and celebrate them. Don't think of the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Just embrace the is, the now, the power of now, as a Tolian would say. Have a beautiful, beautiful day or night, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Feel free to drop me a line. I love to hear from people. I love to connect with people. Thank you for the comments in my previous posts, and thank you for the people who have subscribed to my channel here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Woo. Peace, y'all.